Guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not, welcome back. So as you guys can see, I'll be giving you guys a little events crash course. So if you're considering starting your own business or mastering a beginner's course, or for whatever reason, if it's just an interest or a hobby, just sit back and learn a few basics that will help you sooner than later. So first of all, we need to establish what is an event. So event is a social occasion or activity that can either be planned or unplanned. It is usually a public assembly for the purpose of celebration, marketing, or mere socialization. A lot of persons, when they hear the term events, they normally think or associate it with being planned. It does not have to be planned. It can just be something that just happens out of the blue. For instance, when you have those protesting, those are considered to be events. A group of people coming together, similar interests and so forth, those are considered events. Nobody came and said, oh, you know what, we're going to have this budget and we're going to have this and we're going to have that. No, I mean, yeah, they decided on the day that they were going to do it, but a lot of persons, saw it and tag along. They weren't invited. They're not wearing the same thing that everybody else is wearing. No. So events can be in all different shapes or forms, which leads us to our next little topic, which is the categories. Now, just like everything else in this world, events can be categorized. Now, there are three main categories, which we will put them as corporate, private, and charity. Now, I think they'll speak for themselves, but let me just go a bit further to just tell you guys that charity events are for the purpose of helping. They're for the purpose of donating. They're like the fundraising events and so forth. Private events, recreational, and they're usually exclusive, just like corporate events, which focuses on business relations and networking. Those are what corporate events are for. Corporate events are usually exclusive also. Corporate events and private events kind of have the same characteristics, but they're not 100% the same. For all of the events and for every event that can be held, especially the planned events, you might see event planners or people sending out invitations. It's not a must. For all of these events, there can either be controlled entrance or no controlled entrance. For all of these events, you can either wear whatever you like or there's a dress code. Corporate events usually require a dress code. Private events usually require such. Charity events are normally casual. So it's not a must that you have to wear a long gown or a white dress. It's not a must. Private events can be like your birthday parties because those are kind of private. They're not really private, but I mean, you wouldn't go into the middle of the town and have your birthday party where everybody's coming because trust me, you won't have enough food, drink, or anything to give, and they may come and cause disruption. And lots of persons are not for that big extravagant party, so they have something small, mini private, whatever. So there are other events that you guys may know. Some you may know, some you don't. There are conferences, trade shows, charity or fundraising events. You have product launches, networking, corporate, birthdays, baby showers or gender reveals, anniversary, and weddings. These are all events, and for the planned events, they don't just come up out of the blue and be a success. It normally takes or involves the use of a wedding planner, an event planner, or a planner overall. So, who is this planner? So the planner is an individual or a company that brings visions to life through overseeing the entire operations from the planning stage to the execution stage. This is saying to you guys that the planner does not just plan and tell you that, okay, the DJ will be here at 10, the caterer will be here at 5, the dancer should be set by 2, the lights will be up by 7. No, you're going to be there to facilitate the process, to accommodate all the needs and ensure that everything runs smoothly and efficiently. So you're supposed to be there, and if you're not there and you have a representative that is capable, and I say capable, you don't want to send somebody that's going to be there and then I'm going to walk up and say, sorry, why is the DJ not playing the songs? And you're gonna be like, I don't know. I'm sorry, why are the lights not on? I don't know. Why is the food not ready? I don't know. You need to have somebody that is competent and capable. In order to execute an event properly, there are five things that you need to know, and these five things will help you go a long way when you're starting a business, when you're venturing into your new business, when you're starting a new career, when you're starting your course, when you're thinking about having this as a hobby. There are things that you need to know, you need to do, right? As an event planner, you should know five key things that basically, if you know these things, you already have a great event. Facts. You should know how you're going to make it happen. You cannot think about it and say, okay, all right, so we're going to have an outdoor event and then the snow is going to fall at 5:45 a.m. So we're going to have to wait until that time to get the snow and then we're going to throw the snow. No, you can't do that. There are snow machines, there are technological ways that you can go about things. You cannot say you're going to wait for the weather to be great. You can't tell a person, okay, so I'm thinking we're going to do like a rainbow theme, but I'm not sure how we're going to incorporate the rainbow with the other colors. I'm not sure if we can do outdoor. I'm not sure if we can. You need to be sure. You need to know how you're going to make it happen. What the event is going to be. What is the event going to be? Is it a baby shower or a gender reveal? Because a lot of people confuse gender reveals and baby shower. Are we having an engagement party or an engagement proposal? What is it? Are we already engaged or are we going to be engaged? Are we celebrating a friendship anniversary or a love anniversary? Do we want it to be all roses and red and candlelights, or we just want it to be white? Our friendship symbolizes purity, and we want to show that. We want to celebrate this anniversary. We're not lovers. We don't need red. We don't need this red and black and this ambience that signifies couples' love. You need to know what the event is going to be, where the event will be held. I'm not going to be having, or you are not going to be having an event rather on the beach, whereas your guests will be wearing long gowns and heels, or rather stilettos. Because bear in mind that on the beach signifies sand, water, and all of that. You need a lot of space and so forth, and it would just be a very messy day. Now, if you want to use stage to platform the entire beach, sure you can do that, but think about the cost. Think about the cost. We're doing a funeral memorial service, or a memorial service rather. My uncle died 2 years ago and I want to do a memorial service. It's going to be a sad day. Of course, we're going to be crying a lot, and you're going to say, okay, you guys can do it on the beach. Why would I want to have that on the beach? Why not suggest a church, or somewhere that's cozy and somewhere that signifies what we're going for? Why is the event being held? Taking us back. The event is being held to celebrate. The event is being held to mark a new beginning. The event is held for a reason. Why is it being held? If it's a birthday party, we know it's been held to celebrate growth. If it's a memorial, the event is being held to remember, to remember someone. So different events call for different reasons. You're not going to find every event that's going to say, okay, I'm going to a corporate event, my mom died, so we're celebrating this corporate event for her. No. Who's going to be there? Is it going to be children only? Is it going to be adults only? Is it going to be mixed? Is it going to be senior citizens? Is it going to be men only, women only, couples only, single people only, gay people, black people, white people? Think about all of this. And all of this information, all of this, the how, the what, the where, the why, the who, do you know where you can get those information? From the client, from your customer. Because your customer may not know exactly what they want, but they know why the event is being held. They know where they want the event. I mean, they may not be able to say, I want it at point A, but at least you can make a suggestion to say, okay, you said point A, but bearing in mind that this is this and that is that, I'd suggest here. And I'm like, sounds like a good idea. Like, we can work with that. They know who's going to be attending. It's their family, it's their friends, it's their event. They will know. They can tell you if you ask. You don't even have to ask. Sometimes you can research. In planning the event, before you plan everything, before everything is done, there are a few things that you need to know before you plan the event. You need to select a date, a venue, and a budget. The date has to be convenient for everybody, all parties involved, the planner, the vendors, the client, and where it's going to be held, which is also a vendor. The venue. You need to confirm availability for the venue. You not only need to confirm availability, but you also need to know is or if the venue is appropriate for the occasion. Because as I said before, you don't want to be having a funeral on the beachside. It makes no sense. You also need to plan and have a budget because a budget is what's going to start or kickstart everything rather. Because if you can find the perfect venue, you can find the perfect everything, but you don't have the money to facilitate what you want or what your client wants. So you have to decide on a budget first and foremost. You need to agree and decide upon the starting and the ending time of the event. You must have a start time, you must have an ending time. That is for the interest of the guests attending, yourself, your time charging, the vendors, the client, is for the interest of everybody. Research and speak with reputable or trusted vendors. If you're in the business for a long time or if you're new to the business, you're going to need to know a lot of people. So you're going to need to know a good florist where you can get your flowers. You're going to need to know good venues. You're going to need to know who you can budget well with in terms of catering, in terms of audiovisual, decor. You're going to need to know all of this. So if you don't know anybody, start your research. Now, you're going to also consult with the clients and you're going to plan a menu whilst making suggestions. So it depends because you don't want to just go there and take it up on yourself to plan a menu whereas nobody knows any of the food items. Nobody eats any of the food items. Nobody's interested. It's probably too low class for them. It's probably too high end for them. The quantity is not perfect. Nothing about it entices anyone except you. So consult because you don't want to. Everybody in my family is vegan, and you are coming to my venue. Let's just say it's a wedding, and I wanted to tell you, but I didn't get the chance, but you didn't even ask. So I assumed that maybe it came up and we talked about it. But you come to my wedding, and then everybody is looking at me like, what's going on here? Because everybody's been served chicken and everybody's been served pork. We don't eat animals. Find out before you make mistakes that could ruin your reputation. You're going to determine if invitations are to be sent or if they're required. You're going to also need to know, you're going to need to know how you'll be distributing these invitations, whether sending by mail, whether delivering them off by yourself, will it be taken out of transportation, will it be taken out of time, where will you be printing the invitations, the style that you're going for. You need to bear in mind everything. Now you're going to discuss payment, of course, because that's the most important thing. Because if you're not paid, you may not be providing your services. So you need to discuss how you'll be paid, if you'll be paid in installments, will you be paid a part of the money before, will you be paid, or you can just suggest or tell them that I'll normally collect a 50% deposit 2 months prior to the event date. A week prior to, not week, let's just say 2 weeks prior to the date, I normally collect the other 50%. The first is non-refundable and so forth. You make your rules, it's your business. If there is a host, you need to finalize all the details with her. So you need to say, all right, so at 5 o'clock, this person is going to start their speech, and this person wants to say something, but the couple doesn't know about it. This person has something to say. This is this, this is that. You need to talk. You need to let it be known. So you're going to also make order for all the decor items because you don't want to wait until last minute to get that nice sort of chandelier or to get those LED up lights or to get that fog machine or that dancing on the cloud or that nice little bubble machine. Whatever it is, those drapes, you need to get everything in order before the time. Okay? You also need to confirm with the caterer and the drinks provider that they're available and they can deliver what you want in the time space or the time span that you have, and also serve you meals on time and not cold and soggy. Because there are some people, they're going to tell you, oh, I can do this, oh, I'm good, oh, this is great, but they cannot. They can make the food, yes, but do they know the appropriate time to serve? Do they have proper time management? They don't. You need to ensure that all the audiovisual equipment are working properly. Now, this is a common mistake that a lot of people tend to turn a blind eye to, but this is very important and vital for the success of your event, because for a lot of people, your event starts and people are like check check mic 1 2 3, check check whatever, and your event is going so great, but the next speaker comes up and she's like, yeah, so as I was saying, she's my very good friend for years, and everybody's like, we're not hearing. And she's like, so I was saying, nobody's hearing because the mic is not working, or the mic is, so I was saying, we have been friends for a very long time. It's chipping in and out, it's going up, it's going down, or so I was saying, everybody was. She's not screaming, she's talking very normal, but the microphone is portraying a screaming voice. So you need to ensure that all of this, the speakers are good, the lighting, everything is cross dotted and knotted properly. During the event, you need to listen to all the good and the bad comments because people will be talking. This is a very nice venue. I love the floor. I like the idea that they, put together to have the groom and the bride sit right there. I think that the color is really good. I think that they should have done more with the this. I think that maybe they should have added this color that would have given it a popping look. I don't like the fact that they had the balloons directly over our heads. I don't like the fact they have 10 persons seated at one table. I don't like the fact that the chairs are so close. People will talk. People are going to be vocal. So you need to listen. I'm not saying to poke your ears in everybody's business and say, what you say about me? What you mean? No. Just listen. Ensure that the place is clean. People will be getting drunk depending on your wedding, on your event. People will be partying a lot. You need to have your staff or somebody that is going to be there readily available to clean up a mess. Expectations and plan B is major, major, major. You have to expect the unexpected. Things happen out of the blue, things that are unplanned. You can plan an event from now until next year and everything is perfect on paper, but nothing determines what's going to happen until the day arrives. Until the day arrives, you will not be seeing all of these things. So when things happen, you need to have a plan B. So as I said before, if you're having an event which is supposed to be an outdoor event, you should have a contingency plan. You should have a plan B, meaning that if the rain starts falling, you have a next location to move your guests to, which is already set up and is already accommodating for everything. So there should always be a plan. Throughout the entire event, supervise. Take notes of things that are happening, ensure everything is working. Go to the DJ and say, remember this time you should do this. Go to the catering staff and say, at this time I want you guys to do this. Remember that this should be served this way. I want the guests to, go to the hostess and say, remember when you're doing this, you need to, you need to talk to people. You need to talk. You have to talk in this role. If you can't do the talking and you can only do the planning, get somebody that can be your voice. At the end of it all, have fun. The event is not just for them, it's also for you. You're there to promote your business because people will be laughing, people will be talking, people will be engaging. Have fun. At the end of the event, follow up with your client and collect a balance. That's all. If you don't have a balance, that's okay. Not everybody has a balance because some people collect everything before or prior to the wedding date or the event date. But if you have a balance, you can collect it. Follow up with a client. You could be like, hi Sandra, how are you doing? I hope the event went good yesterday. I hope it went great. I thought it went well. What do you have to say about that? I hope you guys recommend. Do you guys have any issues? Did you guys have any hiccups? I didn't notice anything out of place. Did you guys, just find out from them. Find ways to say, I hope the event was good yesterday. Just find ways to talk to them and to get what you want. The reviews should be good. You don't want them to say, the food was bad. And on top of that, I think that I told you I didn't want it to be pink. I wanted it to be more like a baby pink. And yet it was a shocking pink. And I don't want this and I don't want that. Work with your customer, deliver, give them what they want, get your recommendations because word of mouth is the cheapest, best, and fastest advertisement that your business needs. It is the cheapest and the best. Can also be the worst and most detrimental, but it is the cheapest and the best when you have good service. Word of mouth does it. Word of mouth is the best. It can break you, it can make you. It's cheap and what's the word? It's cheap and tricky. Because if you come to my place and you be like, oh, I attended a wedding and the music was bad, the DJ was inexperienced, the food, everything was off, the decor was ugly, the balloons kept bursting, the noise was on a next level. People are gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna use that person. But then somebody's getting married and Shauna, I went to Keisha's wedding last week and the decor was heavenly. The environment that was created was really beautiful. The chairs were comfortable. They were decorated nice at the table. It was spacious. We had little cards on the table. We got the invitation a week before. We got the invitation a month before. Everything was just perfect. Those are the kind of comments that you want. Those are the kinds of clients that you want. I mean, and guess what? The only way you get those clients is if you give, deliver, and meet expectations. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys have any questions, you guys can spam down below in the comments. I'll answer them. If you guys have a video that you want me to do on a particular topic, you guys can also comment. I'm open to any and everything. Have yourself a wonderful day. If you're new here, please guys go ahead and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.